Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So my office got hijacked, so I'm in a completely different place in the house. Nonetheless, this is a Xiaomi Mi A1, and we're gonna get into a full review about this phone. I've been bragging about this phone for, I don't know, several weeks, and it's time to give you somewhat of a review at this point. So to just cover the specs here, this phone has dual 12 megapixel cameras on the rear with a telephoto lens, wide angle, rear mounted fingerprint reader, dual tone LED flash, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs onboard storage. It has SD card slot, and this phone is a rare breed. It's running stock Android, and it's an Android One device. Google and Xiaomi teamed up together to bring us Android One. So with that, this phone will get all the updates that the Pixel will get, or a Nexus device will get. Any of the stock Android devices Google supports, this phone will get it. That is probably one of the biggest highlights of this phone, but another highlight is how I've demonstrated to you guys that it actually works on LTE, on T-Mobile, Cricket, AT&T, Simple Mobile. It pretty much works on all of those carriers that carry a SIM card. It doesn't work on Sprint, and it doesn't work on Verizon. At least I haven't tested them there because it's a GSM phone, so it's no point in doing so. What's been good about this phone? Well, I've been demoing these cameras and showing you how good they are, and they are freaking awesome. I don't know of any other way to say it. The cameras on this device are just ridiculous, man. They are nice. The telephoto lens on here, I can do 10 times zoom on this thing, and I've demonstrated on social media. I've done a video review of it. I've done a lot on this phone to try to show you that these cameras are on par with flagship devices, or devices with high prices that are considered flagships, and then this phone costs $200. You can grab this phone with the links in the description, by the way, so be sure to grab yours. So if you're in the US, I can definitely recommend this phone to you. Now, there's been a big discussion about the phone working in the US. Some people say, oh, you know, it doesn't have band 12. Where I live at, I only have band 12. If you're in an area with T-Mobile and you only have band 12, you don't have T-Mobile. You shouldn't get T-Mobile. You should get another provider, because you can't have service just on LTE alone. You'll cut out and you just won't have service. And I don't know how truthful those people are being, but nonetheless, the phone isn't listed to have 2 and 4, which is what you need to work on T-Mobile LTE. It does have it though. This is the global version. And again, if you want to pick up this model I have, there's 3 colors, gold, black, and this rose gold I have. The links are in the description. But this phone does work on LTE in the US. I've traveled with it. I haven't had any problems with it. And I really like the coverage that this phone gives as far as network coverage. Speeds on it are pretty decent. I think I got like 20 something or 30 on T-Mobile. That's actually really good. With Cricket, I have unlimited, so it's capped at like, I think 9 or 8, and uploads are not capped, so I got like 20. But I gotta tell you, I'm impressed with this phone. The phone has a pretty decent fingerprint reader. The fact that it has one, that alone should excite you. Remember, this phone is $200, and somebody said, oh, Jay, it's more than 200. You keep saying 200. Okay, between 200 and 260 is the highest you should probably pay for this phone. Now, obviously, sales go on and you'll be able to get a good deal on it, but I'm telling you, 260, and the reason that there's a difference in price is because of the colors. I don't know why OEMs are doing that, or why companies are doing that. I wouldn't say OEMs, because they actually just sell the phone for $229, Xiaomi does, but the different colors come out and companies sell it for a different price. So network coverage is good. It has all the bells and whistles. It looks like an iPhone 7 Plus, a lot of people have said. I grabbed an iPhone 7 Plus and put it next to this, and some people said, oh, it's similar. But think about what you're getting here for this price. You're getting a full metal body, 5.5-inch 1080p display, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs onboard storage with an SD card, a Snapdragon 625. And I believe this has a 3,000 milliamp hour battery, if I'm not mistaken, 3,080 or something like that. Nonetheless, the battery life on this thing is sick. I mean, this phone is also, it may look like an iPhone, but it's definitely thinner than my iPhone 7 Plus, and it's actually smaller than the iPhone 7 Plus. It's not as tall and it's not as wide, so it's very comfortable in the hand. I have no complaints about this phone so far. So, battery life is good. The speaker on here, and oh, mind you, it has a headphone jack and an IR blaster. And I actually have this IR blaster. True story. I couldn't find the remote to the DVD player upstairs in the room. I hooked up this, boom, good to go. And if you don't believe me, let me see if I can find my Me app for remote. You'll see it in here, Me remote, and you'll see bedroom DVD player. There you go. So this phone has an IR blaster, which works great. It has a Type-C, a bottom firing speaker, and a headphone jack. Video recording from these cameras are just sick. I mean, this review is easy for me because I really like this phone. Some people have complained about, well, I can't touch it first. I can't, I want to be able to walk into a store and see it. Not a lot of people. Some people have mentioned that. Trust me, every review that you see on this phone, you'll probably see a good review overall. And some people might be concerned about warranties, but I don't understand that because in the US, some people don't even have insurance on their phone. It's like people walking around with cracked screens. They don't even have insurance. So, and they spent probably 3 times the cost for that phone. This phone right here is $200 and it's totally worth it. I can't say that anymore. No more than $260 is what you should pay for it, and that's just based on the color. And the highest priced color is the black one, I believe. Then you got the gold, and the lowest priced color is this rose gold, according to the links that I have in the description. So hit those if you want them. But I'm telling you, I have no complaints about this phone. I can't stress it enough. I don't know. Sometimes when I do reviews, I try to go down a list, but some phones I just roll with it. I don't script anything. The front camera on here, I will say though, is much better than I anticipated it to be. The rear cameras are solid. I mean, there's so much to like about this phone, but I guess if you're an Android enthusiast, I would recommend this phone because it has stock Android. And Google has promised and Xiaomi has promised that it's gonna get Android 8 in the 4th quarter, I believe, of this year, 2017, possibly January 2018. Even so, stock Android, $230. I'm doing middle ground right there, $230. Good build quality, all the bells and whistles, Type-C, fast charging, fingerprint reader. The cameras are sick. I'll link the camera review that I did for this phone down below, so you can click on that afterwards. It's just a good phone. There's no other set. This records in 4K. Again, it has the wide angle telephoto lens. It's pretty much got the same cameras as the iPhone 7 Plus, but the strength of this phone is the front camera over the iPhone 7 Plus. The rear cameras are identical, pretty much evenly matched. Now Xiaomi claims that they're a little bit better than the iPhone 7 Plus's cameras. I tested it, and again, I didn't want to do a video on something like that because the iPhone 7 Plus is, it's a good phone and everything, but I want to keep the highlight on this phone. And the cameras, I can tell you, the front camera is better than the iPhone 7 Plus, and the rear cameras are pretty much evenly matched. Now, again, Xiaomi might claim that they're better. I didn't see that they were that much better. I mean, I tested it 10 times zoom. I mean, look on social media, you'll see this phone is solid. I don't know what else to tell you about it. I think I can check all the boxes with screen is good, 1080p. Battery is good, at least 3,000. SD card slot, 4 gigs of RAM, 64 gigs onboard storage, stock Android, great cameras, great build quality, IR blaster, headphone jack, Type-C, bottom firing speaker, which is actually really loud. What more do you want? What more do you want in an Android phone? I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna say, oh, LTE for the US. Somebody's gonna find something to not like about this phone. And you know what my answer to that is? I respect you. But you won't find a better phone in this price range offering all of this. At least in my experience. I have not found a phone in this price range, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna compare this next to the U11 Life, but I think this is a better buy than the U11 Life. Just keeping it real. The U11 Life is sweet by HTC, but it doesn't have the bigger screen. It doesn't have the better build quality. It doesn't have an IR blaster. This one has a headphone jack. I'm just saying in general for people, how people might view this phone. I would recommend this over the U11 Life. You'll see that video go live. I mean, the U11 Life is $300, and this is no higher than $260. So And to me, the build quality is definitely better on here. It's just a bunch about this phone that I think is good. I would definitely recommend this phone over several phones, even the Moto line. Reason being is the Moto line may have similar, almost stock Android, but this has stock Android. This is a must buy, folks. If you're in the market for an Android phone and you want to know what Android really is supposed to run like, this is it. Xiaomi and Google hooked this up, and the sad part is they didn't bring it to the US. And some of you guys probably wouldn't even know about this phone if I hadn't brought it on the channel. I've actually had some people say that, man, I wouldn't even know about that phone if you hadn't showed it on the channel. Well, that's what I'm here to do for you. I'll show you some phones that are good options to you that you don't have to pay a whole bunch of money for it. Right now, this phone has taken the crown of king of budget devices for me. And I'll leave it at that. It's your man, Jay Will. This is Xiaomi Mi A1 full review. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.